I would like to tell one more story, and it's 1986, and I'm living in Florida, and I'm going to run for county commissioner. I mean, everything was changing in Florida, and lots of building things and raising taxes and stuff, and there was nothing, no services for anybody. It was ridiculous. And so I'm, going to be this person who's going to run for office. I had to raise money because I realized the system only works for it's just us. There's just certain people that the just us part. It's not justice for us. We don't even know the rules most of the time. I learned that when I was fighting for the women to get out with clemency. So anyway, I was asked to come before this committee in this really dark room. It was quite weird. There were like five people in this room, in this dark room. And they asked me a bunch of questions and I answered. And then they were going to tell me at some point later who they were going to support. So I went to this party and some of those people were there. And this one guy who was the head of the committee, he was some wealthy guy that wore shorts all the time. He was an old dude all bent over. So he must have been the guy with all the money. And he comes up to me and he says, we really like you. And that immediately translated to, we see we could control you. And he said, but it's not your day yet. We need this commissioner that's there for one more term because there are some things on the table that we need him to put through for us. And I looked at him and I said, I don't believe you're telling me this. I almost cried. I said, my father fought in World War II. He told me this is not how democracy works. You represent people, you don't represent corporations. And he said, you need to listen to me. You're a winner. We know you're a winner. We will support you financially. You will have every billboard, every dime you want, but you will stop fighting hard to win this race. And I looked at him and I said, my great grandfathers fought in World War I, and their fathers fought in the Civil War against the South. This is not my idea of how things work. So I cried after the party all the way home. I couldn't believe it. Today, I would expect that to be the norm. So, like I said, when everybody wanted me to run in the next cycle, which was 2 years later, I just couldn't do it. I said, I don't believe in it anymore. I don't think it's there to help people or protect people. I think I have a lot more power on the outside where I'm not controlled, where I can be a social entrepreneur and think things through and organize people. And I don't have to worry about, I can't have that trans person or that lesbian or that football player or that NRA person, nobody to tell me what I couldn't do. And I think that's why it's so limiting. And when people say I'm going to run for office because I'm going to change things, that's just grandiose. Unless you're a Mandami or an AOC who have, backbones of steel and personalities of saint. I'm not that person. The flip side then, when this was over, there was a small Catholic college where we lived and they had priests on one side and they had the nuns on the other. I'd done a lot of things with the nuns and I didn't really know the priests very well. And so they called me up and they wanted me to come and meet with them when I was running for office. And so I show up and they're all looking all neat and proper. And I'm thinking, what's going on? And they go, well, we play poker sometimes and we have some money and we want to give it to you for your campaign. And I said, well, that's really nice, but you understand I have to report that. And they go, oh, no, you can't report it. We're priests. I go, priests gamble? Everybody knows you guys have bingo. That's gambling, isn't it? Yeah, this was like really gambling, they said. And they hand me this wad of money. And I'm like, I need that money, but I'm not taking it. I said, I'm no money whore. I can't take the money. And they're like, oh, come on. And they said, all right, we're going to go pay for some advertising or whatever. I go, yeah, well, then you have to say. And they said, we can't do it. We can't do it. And they kept patting my shoulder. Oh, come on, girl. You're the one that needs to win and you need money. ill-gotten gains. That's what I called it. Anyway, so I didn't win, but I met a lot of amazing people, and I found out what I was really made of at the end of the day. My bottom line code of life, um, which is basically, you know, stand up for what you believe in and don't go quietly. I think that's how you go home and you don't have a blinding headache and you don't feel bad about yourself.
Mm.
It's never easy.
You don't
So
have to win every time to learn something important.